good evening, everybody. Welcome to Bound to Truth. Sorry for the delay, last 2, 3 weeks for the podcast. Jonathan and I have been very busy with, of course, holiday stuff, Christmas stuff. You know how it is. We all know how it is. We don't have to really explain it. It's all that, Christmas cheer and Christmas fear, I would say, when it comes to trying to take care of all the gifts and try to take care of all the things that we want to make perfect around our family during the holiday season and
Don't
so
let them
forth.
fool you. We've been hunkered down in bunkers because there's drones everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe it's Santa's elves trying to play a prank. We have no idea. Which we are going to discuss today a bit about that. But before we get into that, we're going to get down to the business in regards to how you can reach us and so forth. And also want to share a personal message with you guys, a little more of a heartfelt message to everybody and so forth. Um, yeah, that's impressive, John. That's really cool. I like that. He's doing his vape thing. It's pretty awesome. Um, so how can you reach us? We are on Spotify. We are on Buzzsprout. We are on Apple. We are on YouTube. We are on X. We are also on Facebook. Again, that is Bound to Truth. And then how you can also reach out to us is going to be boundtruth34 at gmail.com. We definitely want to hear your questions, thoughts, comments, insults, that whole type of thing, that whole jazz and so forth. And so this will be the last podcast for the year. And so,
Oh, also, real
yeah.
quick before I forget, for all you younger crowd out there, we will also be on Lemon 8 or soon.
Mhm.
We will get something on that too.
Oh,
I'm not
absolutely.
I'm not sure what it is, but apparently that's the new thing. So my wife's already working on
Oh,
getting me figured out how to work that thing.
and also to
Like I
want
just learned how to use TikTok and now.
to, and oh yeah, also TikTok with some short videos. Um, so I want to apologize to John and Sophia about we were doing one about the food and how it's been poisoned over the years and so forth. And my computer, we went so long that it killed all the information, and now I'm afraid Sophia's going to stab me with her two twins.
Yep. Willow's already hiding it somewhere in your house with a crowbar.
And I accept my fate. So, but we'll definitely revamp that and do so and so forth. And also, the good news is too is that Jonathan, I gotta say, has been really aggressively, actively upgrading the podcast in different platforms. That's going to definitely make it more interactive, especially in the areas of not just us talking vocally, but also seeing us through cameras and everything. Again, creating more of that roundtable approach, creating more of that comfort level where we can all chat and kind of and definitely give you that time to
We're
share your stories and thoughts and so forth. Which
I'd
Jonathan, I gotta
say
say, it's awesome, and I appreciate what you're
it's
doing there.
awesome. Yeah. So guys, you're going to be seeing starting next year a couple of times a month, and I'm going to try to commit to this, and I think Christopher will do this too. A couple of times a month, we're going to go live exclusively on TikTok,
Hmm.
um, for our session of paranormal therapy,
Yep.
where you guys will have the chance to go on TikTok and get on there and join in our lives and come in and talk about things live. You don't have to have your camera on.
Hmm.
Your audio is recommended, but this will give the world access and you access to be able to come on. And then we'll probably do that version maybe a couple times a month, but then we will also do live streams to Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Where else can I do it? I think there's a couple other platforms that I'm working on trying to get some keys for, and also as well as a Discord that we will have available too, where me and Christopher will be doing a podcast like what we're doing now, where it's just me and him conversing, but live. You guys get to hear it live. And
Absolutely.
then there will also be recordings of that too later that you'll be able to reference on the other platforms that we spoke of earlier. But we're
Yep.
going to try to focus on getting a little bit more diversity with our platforms and our engagement, and that seems to be going the live approach. We actually did a test live the other day on TikTok, and it turned out pretty good, except for my internet just decided that didn't want to work, but that is fixed now.
Yeah, I saw the.
Like a tweaker in the night. I received my package of 500 foot of Ethernet cable, and I wired my house all the way from one room underneath the house, all the way under to through concrete, up through my garage floor, and into the back of my computer, so I didn't have to move my modem.
Well, it's funny you say "Tweaker of the Night." It sounds like a freaking '80s rock song. "Tweaker of the
It
Night,"
does.
like from
Tweaker
White.
in the night.
Yeah, "Tweaker in the Night." Once I get in the fight, feels no pain is on vain. That was pretty good. I should sing. Um,
Go quit
so
your day job.
I know, right? So, before I get into my manifesto of emotion here, one thing we want to make sure we share too, and forgive me, John, if I didn't mention this before we started the podcast, is that we did come out with the afterlife research with the Hazard Files on Scared Network TV, and we also did
Yes,
an
we
interview.
did.
Yeah, we also did an interview with the CEO Billy, who started Scared Network, and he has just been phenomenal. He's got a great heart and just very open to what we've done, and also very honest. And I loved how we had the meeting with us, talking about that. And you can also see that interview on YouTube as well. If you look up Scared Nowhere TV, the Hazard Files, you could definitely look into that on YouTube and watch that interaction. All three of us in the interview. Of course, I came in late because I work at a bank, and 9 to 5 hours, and had a little traffic, and they say better late than never, right? Um, so definitely check that out. And also, we are working on a side project, which actually be the main focus with Bound to Truth is the Blue Mountain Project. And all I have to say is that John's been working really hard on this film, and I gotta say,
No,
heavily
no, 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 no,
impressed.
no, no. Let's make this clear.
Go for it.
We have been working really hard on this film.
Well, I
We
want to make
have
sure I
been
give
working hard
credit
on
where
this film.
credit's due, buddy. Thank you. I
No, no.
appreciate that.
We have
Uh,
been. We have been putting in the hours. We have been doing the driving. We have been spending the money, burning the equipment, and going in. And don't forget freezing our asses off.
yeah, yeah, that stuff for
But
sure. But
we are committed to this. This is going to be an exclusive Bound to Truth. This is going to be the exclusive Bound to Truth first investigation of for Bound to Truth. Like we've done, we have some afterlife stuff out of there too. But this is going to be a great one. I think that this is going to be an awesome. I'm going to find some ways to launch this on some platforms for you guys for rent. I'm uh I'm going to start working on a Scare Network and Amazon first. But since we already have a little bit of rapport with Scare Network, I want that kind of going on
and I
starting there too. Since
yeah,
it's since our the CEO of Scare Network we've created a relationship with, and he's given us that opportunity. So
yeah,
and
absolutely.
and, and it's so he's such an awesome guy.
He's
Also
yeah.
guys, stay tuned next year. He will be guest on our podcast here,
Oh
and
yeah,
I'm excited for that.
it's gonna be
You guys are
awesome.
in for a treat.
It's gonna be
And if
epic.
you
I'm
guys haven't,
Batman.
if you guys like scary movies, you like horror, you like found footage, you like
Mm.
good creepy stuff, go pop on over to the Scare Network, subscribe, and you get an access to a plethora of spooky.
And
And
it's
you just
beautiful.
can't beat
It's
it. You just
beautiful.
can't beat it. Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's raw. It's independent. It really expands both on the fictional and horror, and also the non-fictional of it as well, which is incredible. And I guess before I get into my little manifesto here, um, I know we've been working hard on it, John, but I got to make sure to give credit where credit's due too. And I appreciate you giving me credit, but I gotta say this: John has been passionately been really good taking this footage, and I've been watching it, and it's incredible, raw, and also honest. And there's some great stuff that we've caught on just one night. Oh, by the way, before I get into that, John, what happened when we went to the? Because this is our second time we went there, right? When we recorded this stuff, this is our second time going there. But what happened to the first footage?
So the first time we went there, we did a daytime investigation. We actually took a motorcycle trip out there, and I'd already come home. I'd reviewed footage. I'd looked over things a bunch of times, and I had this on two separate things. I had this on my hard drive,
Hmm.
and I had it on the original physical copy on the SD card on the camera that we recorded on.
Hmm.
And when I went to add that footage into the movie that I was creating from the investigation that we had later on, The file was corrupted on both of them.
Hmm.
On the hard drive, the file was corrupted. It was unreadable. Could not recover it. Could not view it. Could not anything. And then I was like, okay, that's weird. Maybe something went wrong on my hard drive. And I had just that earlier, the day before, looked at it on the hard drive. Also looked at it on my GoPro. Went, popped in the SD card, pulled it up. File corrupted.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
And you sent to your
But
guy too. And you
yep,
sent to
I
your guy.
sent it to a buddy who works on that kind of stuff, and he said that it's unrecoverable. Said it's like there's what is the word he used? Fractals of information there, but they cannot be recovered.
Did he say what could did he ask or did he say what could have possibly happened for
No,
that
I didn't
to
really ask it or
okay.
dig into that, or but I did do some Google researching into it, and really, the only way that that can happen is if initially it doesn't record right. Like it would, I would have seen it the moment I recorded it, and the moment I viewed it the first time, it would have done that. Like corrupted file.
Yeah.
Like let's
Yeah,
say somehow
I
it
see what
just
you're
wasn't
saying.
downloading, or someone has to go and physically corrupt the file.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
that
So
that's a
doesn't make
theory.
any sense.
That's a
Don't
theory itself.
can't yeah, can't explain it whatsoever. All I know is we discovered some extremely compelling information while we were there that came from the
On broad
spirits.
daylight.
Yeah, excuse me. Good lord. Sorry.
Boy, better in than out, I
Better
say.
in than out.
A little quote from Shrek. Okay, so excuse me. Today we're going to talk about obviously something that's not new for people, or maybe it is new, depending on your sources of information. And it's about the drones that have been happening the last month or so. We're gonna definitely talk about that, talk about theories, talk about ideas, and we want there's a lot of podcasts that have been talking about this, and especially
It's the
legacy
talk.
news.
It's the talk of the world right now.
Yeah, yeah, it's
These
and
these
especially
things.
legacy news media, which is interesting, especially when it's been launched regarding UAPs the last couple of years and hasn't been on the platform, but now it's on a platform with these drones, which is interesting. And John's got some great thoughts and ideas as well, in addition to mine. But before I get into that, this year, the next goal with this podcast is to definitely do more of a video on the platform, so you can again see our faces both on the paranormal therapy that we're talking about and also with this too as well, because we want people to feel more engaged with us, not just hearing our voices but also seeing who we are. But I wanted to share something a little personal from my end, and that's this. So what made me start this podcast? I've been interested in this subject in both UFO, paranormal, cryptozoology, just the unknown, the supernatural, if you want to call it, for many, many years since I was about 7 years old. And the reason why it got me into that is because I've had a lot of difficulty in my life with certain situations and so forth, with family and all that. And it's not to talk bad about my family. I want to make sure that's out there. I love my family very, very much. But it's my very much therapy coping mechanism. And of course, I've gone through a recent, divorce. Who the person that I was married to, she's a great person. I still care for her a lot, and we're still really good friends. But I needed something to cope with my pain, and so I focused the passions is doing this. And because I listened to a lot of podcasts before, and I was thinking, hey, I could do this, right? And so forth. I'm in retail. I talk to people all the time. I feel very natural about that. I feel very confident about that. And this journey has been nothing but a great adventure. It's led me to great opportunities, and that example is having John here with me. Like we talked about before, we met at what is it, Facebook. Excuse me. And first time I talked to John, he messaged me and then he blacked out on me because I understand this guy's a douchebag. I don't know if I trust him, but honestly, John had his own experience with a podcaster who was trying to call him out, which is understandable. It's like, am I going to be the same person? But when I said, "Hey, I'll buy you lunch right at the Grub Hut," he's like, "All right,
Yeah.
free meal, I'll take it. If he gives me crap, at least
Yep.
I get a free meal
Quickest
out of
way
it."
to a man's heart is through his stomach.
That's right. That's right. And ever since then, we've hit it off really well. And and you know, and it's funny because I won't forget when I talked to John. We had an interview with the multiple alien abductions with John Hershey back this year. I encourage people to listen to that. That's a great episode. I always thought it's like this guy would be a great guy to have a podcast co-host with me just to join me because we just it wasn't just as a co-host, it was just as a friend, as a brother, and and that just happened naturally. And then of course we take this adventure with afterlife research and and we did our first film. This is all within a year. This is something that wasn't planned, it wasn't expected. And whatever happens, people can call it, well, what is success? Well, success to me is the relationships I develop with the people around me. And I would say the relationships I've developed with John and Xander has been nothing but a huge blessing, regardless if it's a financial gain or not. Yeah, I'd like financially for us to do this full time. Absolutely. Because it's all about the truth. It's about getting out there. But more importantly, it's not sacrificing the bond that we have. And, you know, and I've gone through a lot of, high and low emotional moments in my life. And John's been there too. And he's been there, and him, and not just him and his family, Sophia and the kids. It's just something that's been a perfect time in my life. And John, I want to say thank you for that. That's to me, I would say, especially with Christmas time, that's the best gift I can get.
Merry Christmas, motherfucker. I love you, man.
I love you too, buddy. I appreciate that. And yeah, I just wanted to share that to everybody out there that you know what, you know, you may have a plan, but always expect the unexpected and appreciate the great things that come about it. And that's a blessing and it's beautiful. And John, I love you, brother. You're my man. You're a good gray. You're gray. You're a gray.
I'm
You're a
a
great guy.
gray.
You're a
I didn't
great.
know I
Ooh,
was an
you're a
alien.
great
Ugh.
guy. Is what I meant. But that's what I wanted to say is that it's going to be a year since in January starting this podcast, and lots just happened, and it's not about fame or financial gain. It's just about, man, what a hell of a journey. What a hell of a journey we've been on, buddy.
It's been it's been a roller coaster, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
It's definitely had more ups than downs. So it's an exciting roller coaster. But
So,
I mean,
yeah.
go
I was
ahead.
gonna ask you, John. I was gonna ask you. So, what it's been for you after, like, just curious. You know what? I never asked you this, and I'm sorry I didn't bring this up before a podcast. Since meeting me and so forth, I'm not asking for praise. What has it been for you after our journey together this year?
Been an absolute fucking nightmare since meeting. It was the worst decision. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, it sounds about
No.
right.
No, honestly, you're a blessing in our lives too, man. You have become a part of the family in ways that I don't even think you realize. Like, my kids are, I think they're more excited to see you than me now. And it's been a blessing being able to have somebody like a good friend that I can actually confide in, a real friendship. It's not just a professional relationship. We have a
Yeah,
we have a real friendship as
right.
well as a professional relationship that seems to strengthen our friendship too, because here we are just moving along life while doing the things that we love and that we're passionate about, which are the same things. We're passionate about the same thing, and our mind's goal is the same thing. And you don't find that. That's a once in a lifetime friendship,
Mhm.
and I appreciate having met you. Appreciate that Grub Hut trip with the creepy old lady.
Yeah, we'll forget the creepy old lady from the Black Hole Sun music video back in the '90s.
Yeah.
That was definitely a cherry popper. Excuse the
Oh
term.
yeah.
But
You are not excused.
oh my goodness. All right. So everybody, with that being said, and putting myself out there and John putting himself out there emotionally, before we get into the whole drone thing, we just want to say we want everybody to have a great Merry Christmas and we love you
And
for,
thank you
yeah,
so much for listening.
absolutely.
Whether or not you're interested in this stuff, or whether or not we've made an impact of your life, those listeners that we do have and the people that did view our lives and that have engaged with us too, we're so thankful for you guys, because that's our goal, is not to reach the entire world. We want to reach the few that need it. If the whole
Yeah,
world listens to the podcast and
well
only
said.
2 ears listen and 2 people really benefit from it, that's all I need.
Yeah,
Just doing
exactly.
good for somebody somewhere.
Exactly, and we appreciate everybody being on this journey with us. And and I want to say this to my brother, my other brother, Jonathan Lopez. I want to say, brother, I love you, and I know you've decided to take a back approach from this project for personal reasons, which is understandable, and I respect that. I want to respect everybody's feelings about certain things, but I appreciate him being a guest at times, but I gotta say that he helped me get this started just by his support and love and his inquisitiveness regarding to the supernatural and so forth. So thank you, my brother, blood brother, Jonathan Lopez, and really appreciate
From
that.
one Jonathan to another.
That's right. God, I know five Jonathans or five Johns. Good Lord, it's so many. Okay, now enough of that said. We're gonna get into the drones. So the drones,
They're in the trees.
they're in the trees, right? So I'm not sure if you have all been listening to what's been going on in the news, not just the independent news, but also legacy media.
Not just the news,
Yeah,
not just the independent news.
yeah,
Our current president, and also, I don't even know what to call him anymore. Former, also new President Trump, have also addressed these issues
right.
to the
So
public.
yeah, so what's going on is basically, as you've seen, both in the East Coast, it started in New Jersey and it's now starting to spread a lot around the East Coast in New York and so forth, even Florida. Also, in addition to that, it's not just around the East Coast. That's what we're hearing. It's actually happening a
It's
lot more
here.
around the world,
It's
right?
happening here.
Yeah.
It's happening in other countries.
Actually, what happened last Friday, Jonathan, when he came to my house?
I don't even want to so listen, people. I believe in aliens. You all
Hmm.
know that. And if you're listeners of the podcast, you know my experience with the extra testicles. And this drone thing, I did not. I wasn't on board with this, man. I thought, because I've seen so many videos where I was like, "That's a helicopter, you idiot! That's a medevac helicopter.
Right.
That's a plane. It's obviously a plane. Everything was a drone.
It's
Everything was a drone.
Superman.
Yeah, like I throw a rock in the sky and people, oh, it's a drone.
Hmm.
Until I was going over to Christopher's house.
Right.
Listen, guys, and for some of our listeners that are here in Hansville, this was right in your own backyard. Like this happened. I was coming through, going past the Safeway in Kingston, and there was a few cars stopped on the side of the road, and there was a bright light in the sky, and it didn't trigger like in my mind until I was like, oh, that's why they're stopped. I stop, I look at it, I roll my window down, and there is something that is like four of my SUVs, and I have a big expedition. It is a
He does.
large expedition,
And in
and it was,
charge.
yeah, and it was like four of those long and big, like all together. If I were to just put four of them together, and it was had multiple sources of propulsion. I'm just gonna have to say, I'd like to say rotors, but the
Mm,
problem with that is it was completely silent, and this thing was close enough that I could have shot at it with a handgun.
mm,
And it was such a bright light in the sky, and it was just there, soundless,
mm,
motionless. There was a split second decision in my mind where I was like, I need to get out and record this. And then I the logical part of my brain is, you've seen this movie, get out of there.
mhm,
I got a picture of it. A lot of people did. Um I don't know what it is. I have no explanation for it. It was a flying school bus, unmarked, did not look like any form of drone technology I've ever seen. And I'm kind of a tech nerd. I like that stuff. I got a few drones myself. I've been flying them around the skies out here just to get people tweaking out on them since the drone thing coming out, because it's funny. Um, but now I don't think it's funny anymore. Because I don't know what it was that I saw, guys. I have no idea. I said it to Christopher. He's like, "No, you didn't. No, you didn't see it."
oh
I
yeah,
sent him the
I was
picture,
calling BS. I was like, he's fooling me. This is garbage. When we said the picture, I was like,
and
what?
yeah, picture in a slight video, it's just there, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Yep, it's happening." And
Yeah.
then we had, and then wasn't that the night before that we had the experience where I called you?
No, that was that night.
It was also that night too,
That was that night with the
when
with
I
the
got
with
back
the
there,
with the
but
yeah,
we saw more
yeah.
unexplained ones. right
Oh
outside
no,
of our
no, wait a
window, and
minute.
I
No, oh, wait, no, that was the night before. No, sorry. I thought you were talking
yeah,
about
okay, I thought it was the night
the
before when it was
investigation
Sophia
that
that
we
that
went. Yeah,
Sophia saw it.
and
Oh
I
yeah,
called you guys. And I called you
yeah,
guys.
and so I don't know what they're doing. I have a theory. Um, I don't
Well,
know if
be,
my theory is
well,
correct.
but hold on. Before
I
we
refuse.
before we get into that theory, let's hold that last because I want to hear about your theory as mine. So let's do this, okay? So before we get into the theories, John, because I know we want to go to theories and
Oh yeah,
jump that, yeah. So it's been happening. It's been going around for the last month, and now it's spreading all over the place. Not just in eastern part of the United States. It's been happening here in Washington. It's been happening in California. It's happened in Florida. It's even happened in the UK. It's happened a lot around the world. Uh, why is that information coming out? I don't know. I think it's a slow release of a lot of things that are happening. The weird thing about it is that our government is saying, "Well, we don't know what they are.
yeah. It's not ours. It's not theirs. It's not
It's
what it
it's,
is, but it's
but
something.
it's not a threat." It's like saying in an airport, "Oh, there's a backpack laying there. We see it,
Unattended.
but it's not a threat. It's
But what's
almost,
in it? We don't know,
but
but
it's
we
not a
don't
threat.
think it's a threat.
But it's not a threat, right? Which is kind of weird because it's almost like, well, if you see something, say something, right? Well, there's a
Yeah,
lot of people saying something, and our government's saying, eh, it's fine.
it's whatever.
It's
It's
whatever,
whatever.
which
I
creates a
don't
lot of
think it's
suspicion.
whatever.
It's almost like a girlfriend looking at your phone saying, who's Ashley? Eh, nobody.
Like it says
Don't worry
it
about
says
it.
mom after it, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Why is it always an Ashley?
I don't know. I just pull that. I just
It's
pull that
always
air.
an Ashley.
I just pull the air. But that creates a lot of interesting concerns. So there's been a lot of theories, right? So people are saying it's UFOs. People are saying angelic. People are saying foreign adversaries like maybe China, Russia. Um, Other people are saying it's government. The other, the other part of it is that it's a private corporate like Tesla or Lockheed Martin or Raytheon, all those places, BlackRock. Um, so that's a lot of theories to throw around, right? But obviously, you know that they're invading. Maybe that's not the right word. Maybe it is the right word. Invading our space and our private areas. That came out wrong. Our our our,
Private airspace.
our private airspace. Thank you. Our airspace
They are
with
invading Christopher's private areas. The
yeah. But
drones
but
have
but the,
touched him.
yeah, good lord. But the thing is that they're surrounding areas that are heavily populated with people, but yet our government's choosing not to engage into it, even though they don't know what they are, right? Which is really weird.
These
I
things are coming out of in the ocean in swarms and following Coast Guard vessels, and they're not granting them rules of engagement. They're like, yeah, we're being followed by something that is potentially hostile, but we're not allowed to engage. Excuse me, if
that's weird.
I if I fly my drone or I get in a boat and I chase a Coast Guard vehicle, I'm getting lit up. That's it. There will be no more me on the podcast. That's game over.
Oh,
So
that's
you're telling me that our government's like, yeah, they're not, we don't know what they are, but we're not going to engage it. Because listen, as Americans, as America, one thing that we love is triggers, and we love blowing stuff up and
America,
shooting things out of the sky.
America,
Fucking America.
America.
Like, you can't. And now you're telling me, like, even Trump didn't address, he's like, our government knows what they are, but for some reason they're not telling us.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Why? Why are you allowing the world to be in panic? And I'll tell
So,
you guys my theory on that
well,
once Christopher allows me.
so there was theories behind that, right? So one of the theories is that what happened, supposedly what happened again, is that there was some nuclear material, radioactive material that came from Ukraine, that came to the port of Newark in Jersey, and now it's missing. And supposedly these drones that the government knows nothing about, not just any drone. I mean, we're talking about, like John said, SUV size, bus size, possibly bigger, are sniffing for this material, right? Um, that could be loose. But again, that could be just
Just a
another.
theory. But
That's a theory. But go on.
guys, to
What?
piggyback after that greatness, to
Mhm.
piggyback after that after off of that great theory, has anybody heard about the rising radiation levels in our seas recently out in Florida and California and a couple of their coastlines? The radiation levels are spiking to evacuate the area or die levels in certain parts of the seas. So, could this be this hidden or lost nuclear material? I don't know. Could this all be just a little bit of a comfort, like, oh, there's some stuff missing, so there's a group of no, no, no. I'll tell you what, if our government really was looking for a missing nuclear material in our United States, they would tell us probably in a heartbeat, like, hey, we're going to be sending these reconnaissance drones to do search. They would say something. They're going to be doing oceanic research.
Oh,
Whenever
well,
the Navy, we get Navy SEALs that train on our coast, just right out here, out by you, Christopher.
yep.
Navy SEALs come and train out there, and they tell us, they
Mhm.
say, hey, guys, don't worry. If you see a bunch of dudes with guns dressed in all black popping out of the waters, there's our SEAL teams and they're training. And they tell us that. Our most secretive tier one operators, they let us know that they're doing operations in our own backyard, literally walking distance from Lopez's house. They
Right.
do those training sessions all the time. We have nuclear submarines, spy submarines,
Oh, all the
and
time.
nuclear capable war that
That come
right
through
through our
Hook,
channels,
Hook
right through
Canal.
our channels.
Come through Hook
And
Canal.
sure, we don't know when, but when they're there, the whole world knows. And they're like, stay away.
Yep.
We are coming through. You can't miss them.
Well, damn,
So
they
you're
closed the
telling
bridge. They closed the
they close the
bridge.
bridge.
Yeah.
And these things, if they're looking for things, they would have some backstory. They would have some. They're doing some oceanic research. They're doing tidal research. They're following whales or sharks, and they're not just going to be so secretive about it and
Right.
then just let the whole world panic. Because when people panic, things start getting crazy. Now, crazy. The cool part about it is we are so desensitized as Americans from COVID, World War III, constantly on the brink of World War III. I mean, we've had like 50 different almost World War IIIs since COVID. Um, Aliens, everything. So now when things happen, people are like, okay, cool. Oh
Mhm.
God, a drone. Is it doing anything? I don't really care.
Mhm.
But
Yeah. It's
now it's possible. And I'm still not sure about this one. Lopez actually showed me this video. Um, it's potential that these things are weapons capable.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I think the whole nuke thing, which is interesting. I think at first I bought into it, but I'm still questioning it
That's
because
even worse though. That's
it
even
is. But
worse. If there is a nuclear device somewhere in our United States that isn't ours, you guys know what's coming.
right,
If that's what they're really looking for, as a world, as the United States of America, there is if there is a foreign nuclear device in our country and we don't know where it is, guess what? It might be in your local city and it's going to detonate because
right,
that's what's going to be happening because that's the only reason it's there. It's not there to bring you new cotton candy machines. It's not there to bring you new energy. It's there to destroy you. So
right.
if this theory is true, and I'm not trying to fearmonger or control any form of narrative, the potential of this being true means that you should potentially prepare yourselves for something that is significantly worse than what we ever could have imagined.
Well, and here's another theory too: is that maybe this is something that had that. So, in honest truth, you know, hmm. So, what do you think of it being an alien, extraterrestrial?
I don't think it would be alien extraterrestrial. Number one, they're too smart for that. It's too lazy. And what's the point of them just having drones flying around doing that? It doesn't make sense. Why would they use primitive technology compared to their advanced technology all of a sudden to just loll around and fly around and disappear and just come over here and over there and this, that, and third? Whatever is going on, our technology, we have technology that I think that we were developing and my theory is that I think that some form of sentient computer technology, whether it be AI, Christopher's asshole, or anything else that has gained control of this technology and is testing their boundaries with it. That's what
No,
I think is more logical all the other ones are also logical, and that's the scary thing about it is I can't give you guys any answers about what is happening or what is going to happen or what is not going to happen, because currently what is happening is these drones are flying around doing something.
So here's the thing too, John, is that one of the things I guess I'm glad we delay this with the whole drone thing, is
Delay
because
these nuts.
one of the things that are happening too is that there's a lot of different other objects that are not acting like drones. I almost feel like it's like like the government's seeing there's things that are happening with these different objects, and they're trying to mimic what they're doing just to control the flow of information of the narrative. Does that make sense at all? You know what I mean? It's like people are seeing this, so we're going to mimic this and say it's drones.
Yep. It's very possible. It's very possible that this could be some form of foreign, and by foreign I mean not exactly planetary technology that could have been here that maybe they're just trying to cover up, like they knew it was here.
Right.
Because you can't tell me that as advanced as we are, and I'm not saying that we're the most advanced civilization in our universe, because I don't think that we are, but um it goes back to thinking about the technology that we have. We have technology that I can, if you're standing outside, I can read your screen on your phone
Hmm.
from satellite imaging now. Like I could watch you text
Hmm.
from space
Hmm.
live. And
Right.
you're telling me that there's technology that's on this planet that we don't know about from entities that we didn't know was here? It's bullshit. It's a lie. We knew
Right.
that they were here. We're not telling people that they're there for a reason, because they don't think that we deserve to know or that we can handle it, which I truly don't think so. I'm telling you, if during our next presidential address a little green Martian comes walking onto stage or teleports onto stage, the world will freak out.
Well,
There's going to be those people that are going to be like, cool, yeah. There's going to be those people that be like, I fucking knew it. And then there's going to be those people that are going to freak out.
well, you
And
know,
those people are going to cause a serious problem.
well, you know what too. Here's the thing: the whole like UFO landing on the White House, right?
Yeah.
That to me is a Barney story, right?
Yeah.
It's very comical. It's very, I call it child book, right?
Yeah.
I would say after the years, especially when I talk to everybody here about my interest in UFOs, that I thought it was more black and white. They're from different planets and they come here and they're spaceships and there it is, right?
Yeah.
I think that it's a lot more deeper than that. I think because especially learning about more how space and time works. Again, I'm not an expert into that. I would say John's more of an expert than I am in that. Is that you know it's like if from one if an entity is going to travel from one planet to another. I mean, I hope you guys watch the movie Interstellar, right? Because gravity and time work differently in the universe, you know. And if they're traveling a certain light speed, they have to travel back to their planet in that same frequency, right? Because they travel back, time can go forward a lot quicker. Or
Yeah.
if they went back, it's gonna go forward. So so my thought goes to like, well, if that's possible, if it's not possible, then maybe it's more interdimensional. Maybe it could be something more of, I could say angelic or demonic that we call angelic or demonic
Yeah.
or both, right? um, that has influenced humanity for many centuries. You know, um, you know, and that's why we have these so much different religions that have such different aspects of belief, but yet has similarities. Like for example,
Yeah.
you look at the world;
Exactly.
they have a lot of the stuff about the flood story and all that jazz. So that again, I know it's going a little deep in the rabbit hole, but that's my thing. Is it is are I keep leaning towards more interdimensional.
I I can't say that I agree with interdimensional in like
And I'm
talking
not
about
saying I'm
these
right. I'm
drones
just
specific.
saying that's where
I
I'm
know,
at. Yeah,
but I know, but for the sake of healthy argument,
yeah.
um, I don't think that this technology is interdimensional at all. What is controlling it might be. I think that this technology has been here,
Oh, agreed.
or it's ours, or it was given to us and it is no longer in our
Oh, I,
control.
I honestly, John, let me add to that. I think it's been around here not recently. I think it's been around here for
A
centuries,
long time. Yep.
millennia. When you look at the
Yeah.
pyramids, is it Göbekli Tepe, what do you call it? All those places, right?
Yeah.
But again, I know we're going deep in the rabbit hole regards to the drones, right? Um, but there is a technology that does exist that has interfered with our world. Again, we're looking at in John, and bear with me on this one. We're looking at the world with what we experience with, what we see and touch and feel and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We know the
Yeah.
universe is so much bigger than that, and there's so much more how do you say it? Uh, More depth to how things travel and come through our plane. Just because no difference. Like for us driving from A to B could be the same for these beings, right?
Yeah.
But for us, for like for a bird or for like a raccoon or a bear, it's like how they get there so fast. My
Exactly.
gosh, right? So again, that's kind of I'm trying to relate it more to the human term, but like that's a thought process, right? Type of
I
thing.
think the crazy part about it, the one thing that is kind of setting me off about these drones is why has nobody just fucking watched it and followed it until it goes back to wherever it came from?
Because
If
yeah.
I see one of those things pop out of the ocean and I have the chance to monitor it from afar, I'm going to sit there like a fucking tweaker with binoculars and watch that fucking thing until it either disappears or I find out whose house it's returning to home to. Like
Well, and that's the thing too, is that
if it's
either the
hovering above me, I'm getting out of there. I don't want
well,
nothing to
there,
do with
there
that. I've
there's
seen that movie. I've seen World of Worlds.
well there's two conclusions, John. Either we know what it is and they're not telling us. Number two, we're incompetent.
Yeah,
With those two
exactly.
conclusions, which one do you pick? We know what it is or incompetent?
Honestly, I think it's both.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
So with that, so okay. So with okay, let's talk about process of elimination, right? Do you think they're foreign adversaries like Russia, China, any other government?
I think that it is a foreign adversary, but I don't think that it is like a Russia or China or anything like that.
So what do you mean foreign adversary? When I say foreign adversary, what does that mean to you? Is that
Foreign
a
to this
broader term?
planet.
Huh?
Foreign, n- not developed by us.
Okay.
Let's say that.
Okay.
Not developed by the United States.
We're talking about drones here, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think if it's government but influenced by re-engineered by tech that we have recovered as a possibility?
I think that it's very possible that it could be government re-engineered by tech that isn't ours, but then we lost control of it because it's tech that's not ours. And if you go through, think about the biological technology that supposedly these these spacecrafts and things like that have, that they're controlled by biomechanics. They're controlled by a neural link from host to machine.
Mhm.
So they get into these things and they're flying it with their minds. It's very possible that these things are sentient. Maybe we had the technology and maybe we were working on it and accidentally activated it. And because they came from technology that functioned on a biological sentient plane, they now have a mind of their own, or they're linked to some,
You know
I
what?
hate to use this word, like mothership type of thing, and
Right.
they're just trying to find their way home. Maybe we developed these drones for search and rescue, for oceanic research, but now because it came from technology that is supposedly controlled by neurological and bio links, now that technology has a mind of its own completely because it's basically a living thing.
You know what?
And now it's just wandering.
You know what? You just gave me a great idea. When we talk about, so when I talk about is it AI, right?
Yeah.
That Skynet went live. What if and is that it's both that foreign tech, like the extraterrestrial tech
Mm-hmm.
or alien tech or interdimensional tech that we could discover. So we use AI to help us with it.
Oh God, because we
Do,
had
do,
the
you,
oh
do you see what I'm
fuck.
saying? Do
And
you see
then
what I'm
it
saying?
and then it controlled took over with AI, and then AI became sentient of its ability because it took over its programming for AI, and now they're working together.
Correct.
Yeah. Fuck.
I'm sorry.
Very plausible.
No, it just came to my mind. It's like
It's
we,
very plausible.
well, because we have AI to help speed up the process, right? We have AI that helps us calculate things a lot more faster, right? you know.
There was a great man that said not long ago, AI will be the destruction of our planet.
Yeah, Elon Musk,
And I don't think we can say his name. Are you
Jesus,
allowed to say the great Elon Musk's name?
Jesus,
Yeah.
Jesus
Jesus.
Christo.
But
Yeah, but no, I just thought about it right now. What if we? Because think about that. If there's technology that we don't understand, it's
we
been
tried to
70, 80
use
years.
AI to control it, and now it has a mind of its own.
Well, hold on. It's not to control it, to understand it, right? To understand this technology. We've had 70, 80 years to try and understand this technology that's in our hands with crash retrieval, right? The problem with crash retrieval is that the government wants to make sure that other parties don't talk to each other.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so it's like oh god, how do I say this? So it's like trying to make Coke or Pepsi, right? It's like one company makes one ingredient, the other company makes this other ingredient, and they don't know how that works together, right? Because they want to
Yeah.
protect their product, right?
Yeah.
And so, what if that fact happened, where it's like, you know,
They
we had
accidentally crossed planes.
they
This was
well,
here, this was here, this was here, this was here.
right,
And by some accident, they all came together, and
right.
now it's el fuckoed.
Right. Well, here's the thing. These companies, these different private companies, like you create this piece, you create that piece, you create this piece, and then with AI to put it together, and all of a sudden it became aware,
Yeah.
right? Not because of our well, it is because of our doing, but but because of this tech that we recovered, it became even more intelligent and aware, right?
Like that article that I sent you that where they created a server using human brains.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
I sent you an article about that. They successfully created a network server of that runs an AI platform, and they wouldn't release which AI platform that is made 80% out of human brains that they are keeping in stasis and functioning, and that is how it processes.
Wow,
It's through human brains.
wow.
And
Well, yeah,
that wasn't that long ago that they revealed that it works.
right.
And now they're like, oh yeah, this is how this server runs. Well, which server is it? Well, it's an AI platform. Which AI platform? We are not at liberty to disclose that.
Wow. So,
I
okay.
hate that term. I'm not at liberty to disclose that. You're not in the privy.
Well, you know what? Yeah, no, I hear you. So let's do this. We talk about process elimination. Can we honestly eliminate that it's angelic?
I don't think it's angelic
Okay,
in at all.
so we're gonna remove that, right? Can we?
I think hold on that. I think that people are being pointed towards other entities in the sky that have been looked at as angelic for centuries because of these drones, and now it's kind of being put off, and now it's just one of those, these are angelic no, they're not fucking angelic. The things that you're looking at in the sky are not the same things as these drones that are
Okay,
happening here. It's
so
your eye is just being drawn to anything that looks weird, and now you are becoming aware of these things that have always been there.
okay, can we start to eliminate that it's foreign adversaries? When I say foreign adversaries, would you say Russia, China,
Yeah.
Iran? Can we eliminate that? Right?
I think I think we can eliminate that. I mean, at least in my personal opinion, I don't think
Yeah,
it's any of them.
right. And I
Because
said,
if it was, something would have already happened by now. If they
or
had
or
snuck
we
these
or we
drones
would
into
have shot it
here,
down, or we would
yeah.
have shot it down.
If it was, look at what we did with stupid weather balloons that were coming over here. They sent a jet after it and blew it up with a missile.
It was a
They
terrible
blew it
shot,
up.
by the way.
They
It was a
blew it
terrible
up with
shot, by
like
the way.
they blew it up with like a freaking 60, $70,000 missile
Yeah, by the way,
instead of sending Uncle Bob with a BB gun.
by the way, Maverick fucked up on that shot. That was a terrible shot.
Like, so if it was foreign, we would have destroyed it by now. We would not
Okay,
be letting it float around.
okay.
We would have blown it up.
So that that goes back to government, alien, or private. I'm going to personally say it's not private.
I don't
Or
think we can eliminate any of those
no.
three. I think that those three have to stay in almost in
Well,
play
well,
because I
well,
think
well
it's
you
all of them
actually, no,
together.
you're right. You're right. You're right. Okay, so I'm eliminating. Okay, let me say this. I'm eliminating that is all three independently.
Yeah, there you go.
But I think the conclusion is all three are working together, either
Yep.
directly or indirectly. And if I just say directly, I would say private companies and military. and alien tech indirectly.
Yeah. I think that what it was is it was a private contracted organization that was working for a government reason that then lost control of their sentient article, and now here we are with this weird shit.
Yeah.
I can't wait to find out whatever they tell us it actually is.
So John, let me ask you this question.
Because whatever they're going to say is going to be a lie. But
Well, absolutely. So, and we notice this with legacy media is now talking heavily about this, right? We talk about so UAPs have been coming out since COVID, actually before COVID, and hasn't been captured by legacy media. And when we say legacy media, it's like Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, ABC,
all
those
the big news
platforms.
networks,
Yeah, that
yes.
hasn't been for the last 5, 7 years. But now all of a sudden they're jumping ship or they're jumping in aboard actually, regards to this. So to me, my opinion, I'm not an idiot. There's an agenda behind it. What's the narrative?
Absolutely.
What's the
I
narrative you
think
think?
I think the narrative is distraction
Okay, so we say hold on. We
or
say distraction.
or desensitizing us.
Okay, but I'm gonna go back to distraction. What do you think the distraction is?
So what's going to happen if for the next, let's say 90 days, or not even 90 days, 30 days, we have random drones and things flying through the air and everybody just is ignoring it and it's like, okay, it's whatever. And then the wintertime hit, the dark season, the real dark season after the solstice happens, when we start getting snow, the sun is darker than it usually is, and things start flying around the sky again and coming and landing and coming and going, coming out of our oceans, landing in our cities, landing in our backyards, landing in fields. People are going to ignore it. Whether it's a foreign entity, an alien entity, or an internal entity, we are going to ignore it as people because we are brainwashed. We are programmed to ignore these things because we are being flooded with so much of it at once. We are being flooded with these drones, with these pandemics, with these wars, with this violence, with this sexualization of people, with these TikTok, with this and that, the instant gratification and the new this, the new that. We are distracted. We are distracted. Here's the shit in this hand. Look at this. Look at me. Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
the real whatever the fuck it is happening is going to be going on, and we are going to completely ignore it. And that is going to be some form of hostile takeover, whether it is internal to control population, whether it is foreign to destroy population, or whether it is alien to do whatever their plan is.
I agree 100% with that. And honestly, to sum it up, what you said, I think it's a psyop.
Yeah.
I think it's the whole psyop because the more you're afraid, the more you give them freedom to stay safe.
Yeah.
And to me, this is sound a little nuts. I'm not trying to throw a bunch of Christian mannerism. I'm talking about truth. Is
Revelation people.
exactly. Is that's the point of it. And I'll tell you this. I thought Revelation is a little more black and white. It's a lot scarier than what it is.
Look at what the Holy Father has is doing. I think here in a couple of days in the Vatican, he is opening the seals to
Mm,
the alleged tomb of
five,
Lucifer, the
five,
alleged
five,
tomb of the devil, where
five
he is
portals.
apparently bound to this earth through this entity. He has
It's
decided
yes.
to crack these seals that the world didn't even know about, but it's there and it's in the Vatican text. I mean, it's there. You look, it's in the Vatican text. It is. This area is supposedly just like the whole Vatican City and the Domata of the Vatican City was built over this area to allegedly entomb. That's why they bury the saints there.
Well,
That's why they
you
bury
know
the holiest of the holy there. And he's like, I'm just gonna whip out my letter opener real quick and crack these seals of the apocalypse and put it
oh,
on
there's
live TV. Wait,
there's anthrax in there. No
wait, hold
worries.
on, hold on. You said
Yeah.
you were gonna Holy Father, you're gonna do what? He's like, I am going to open up the tomb of Satan.
Oh, yeah, good best, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
like, come on, like, and you know what? That made so little news that it was like it came across my feed. I did a little bit of research. And it's like this is the plan. This is the plan for the diocese is to crack the door open on the alleged not resting place, but entombment of the ultimate evil,
You know what,
of the father of lies,
John,
of everything.
John,
And it came like this. It came like this. He's like, we're cracking these drones, 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 drones. Hey, what did the father just say he's gonna do? What? Drones, drones, drones. They're in the fucking trees, they're in the ocean, they're in your pants, they're in your backyard, your wife is sleeping with them. Drones. But what did he? Oh, you know what? I think he said something about drones, and it's gone, man.
you
It's
know
gone.
what, John, hold on. It's funny you bring that up, is because I've heard about this last couple of days with the Vatican, but not just that, about CERN doing another project.
Son of a bitch! I haven't heard that.
No, the same time the Pope was doing that. And it's funny
No way.
yeah, the funny
Send me
thing
that
is,
information. I haven't heard shit. I haven't been
yeah,
paying
I no
attention to
no,
CERN.
it's funny because that was part of the podcast I was going to bring up when he brought up the Pope, and I was like, shit, dude, we're on synchronicity levels. So here's the thing: the other theory is what if these drones are part of the mask that ceremony?
Exactly. It's a distraction. It
Where
is a
where it's creating,
whatever these
yeah.
drones are to distract us from what is really happening. It's completely irrelevant to your life.
Here's the thing. Hold on. Here's the thing, is that so what I'm saying with these drones distracting,
Who knows?
right?
Who knows? Maybe this Ukrainian nuclear material, maybe the power from it is needed. Has anybody gone with a Geiger counter over to the Vatican lately?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to encourage somebody to go do that. Let's check the radiation levels over there. Maybe the power from this lost nuclear technology is needed to open these seals.
Well, here's the thing. I want to remind our audience is that God is the one all and end all. He created the heavens and the earth. He created
But
the materials.
the problem will be, and I agree with you, the problem with that is before that coming comes back, there's that in between stage where there will be suffering beyond what you could ever possibly imagine, beyond taxes, beyond depression, beyond uh, emotional irregularity, beyond medication,
Right.
beyond car crashes, beyond these things. There will be an evil. There will be a time of evil that will be unlike anything that you have ever and will ever experience in your entire life. And it will bring the Christian army and these people down to their knees because that's what it's supposed to. But what you have to do is you have to make sure that you are on top of that. You have to make sure that you are armored with the armor of God in this time to protect yourselves from this ultimate evil, from this lie that is going to be told to you, from these deceivers that are going to deceive you, from these people that are going to tell you that I am the one true God, and they are liars. The
Right.
people that are going to be talking to you and that are going to be coming in front of you are the liars. And I'm telling you, people, they are not the ones. These are not your saviors. They are the liars now.
Well, and
These are
that
the
goes
people.
back to Project Bluebeam, right? About projection and
Yeah.
about like to the whole thought process. I want to talk like, quickly about Werner von Braun. Werner von Braun was part of Project or Operation Paperclip, and I encourage people to look up this guy Werner von Braun. I say it multiple times because it's three names. He talked about the five.
If you say it 3 times in a mirror,
He'll come to life. But with the reason I bring it up is because he talks about like the 5 or 6 different stages about the world new order, and the last 2 stages was one, the pandemic. The second one was a fake alien invasion. And I gotta say this too: the Catholic Church. And listen, I'm a devout Catholic, and I mean that. When I say devout Catholic, is because I love the history and the mysteries behind it. But the Catholic Church has been very heavily I should say Pope Francis, about like if there is aliens that exist, they be welcomed as brothers in Christ. And that was almost a decade ago.
as we sure should, because if you believe in creation and you believe in God's word, He created them too.
But here's my counter, John. Here's my counter.
Not all of them will be good.
Well,
Some of His creations aren't good.
hold on. What if the devil created them or hold on, counterfeited them?
There you go. I was going to
The,
correct you there.
yeah, counterfeited them because the devil cannot create. He doesn't have that ability. But he counterfeited them to create something to influence humanity. Like we talked about before, angels, right? Their free will is limited, but God gave us ultimate free will, right? To choose. But the enemy, the devil, can influence humanity enough. What makes him stop him to counterfeit his God's creation to influence humanity in their beliefs to create
It is
for his own agenda? Does
it
that make
is
sense?
a great point. It is very possible that whatever happens could be the devil's counterfeit. That'd be a good band name.
Oh, actually, damn, that is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, that is good.
Copyright that. That's mine. That's mine.
The
That's
the
mine,
de-
everybody.
the devil's counterfeit.
The devil's
Take
counterfeit.
take that, Rob Zombie. The devil's rejects. The devil's counterfeit.
Yeah. But
No, but seriously, no, seriously, what is that?
and if they are the counterfeits, then my brothers and sisters in Christ, if you're listening to this, just know we know what to look for. And if anybody needs to know what to look for, please reach out to me or Christopher. I can point you in the right direction. I can only give you the information. You have to accept it for yourself because I can never convince you of my apologies of my reality. I can only tell you the information that I know, but I will give you that push forward. I need you all to remember that these are lies that are going to be told to us and they are going to be more convincing than anything. You might lose a wife over it. You might lose the respect of coworkers, of family, of children, of brothers and sisters and neighbors. But you have to remember that the lies that are going to be told to us in these coming days, they're lies. The people who are going to be telling you that they are your salvation, the people who are going to be telling you that they are what you need to lean on and trust in, they are liars. They are deceivers. They are counterfeits. And we are to rebel against them in every way.
Yeah,
And that could mean your life. That will mean your life at some point. It
and
even tells us
and
that will be the our lives at some point. Saying these words out loud right now, one day, if I live to see that time, will get me killed. I know it.
yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
What I want to add to that too, with all that's being said, is that we reject those lies, but we do it with love. And the reason I say that is because bitterness is a pill that we swallow and hope other people get sick. When it comes to our family and friends close to us, no matter what happens, everybody, is that you still love. And just like Jesus, right, on the cross, Father, forgive me. Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they do. And that's a hard thing to do. I can only speak for myself because I'm a very, believe it or not, I'm a very passionate person at times. Um, but I would say that we make sure that when we like what John was saying, we reject those things. That we make sure we do it with it doesn't
You
compromise our
don't just
character.
reject it, you rebuke it in the
Yeah,
name of the Lord because
but
these are lies that will destroy this world.
when it isn't when it doesn't compromise their character is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is that does it make sense? That's why it doesn't compromise their character in a way where we become part of that because John, you and I know this. When people fight other people, it's like fighting fire. It's like fighting oil with fire, right? It's
Yeah.
like how do we fix that? And it's not always easy. And
I'm gonna correct your term. Fighting oil with fires sounds hilarious. Let's fight fire with gasoline.
okay, whatever,
There you
whatever.
go.
I'm a
It's like
Neanderthal.
fighting oil with an avocado.
If I know the avocado, fair enough, fair enough.
Avocado dip.
Yeah. But I guys, I know we talked about the drones and I'm off topic, but we're talking about a bigger picture here. But I will say this: with the drones that are happening, right? is that there was a lot of laws federally that usually the drones that we have don't go no more than what, 400 feet?
Eh,
Hold on, legally.
oh, yeah. I shouldn't say anything.
No, no, no. Okay. Hey, please the
Yeah.
fifth. He pleads the fifth.
Legally,
Well, John's a
I
special.
plead the fifth.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to say
So does my drone. My drone also pleads the fifth.
but the point I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of laws, and I encourage people to look up to laws with these drones. Is that there's a lot of laws that prohibit drones to do certain things, especially certain heights and levels and where they're going at, but yet they're allowed to do what they're doing right now, especially when it comes to New Jersey and other places. The point I'm trying to say is that there is an agenda that's going
Dude, I
on.
can't even fly my drone over Port Gamble because
Really?
it's a protected area. My drone won't even get close to it. I can't even fly over it,
Is
near it, or around it.
because
It's
it blocks it,
protected.
right? You have an app that it blocks
Yep,
it, right? Okay.
internally.
So hold on. That's my point.
I
These
can't fly near an
drones,
airport.
hold
I
on.
can't fly near the ferry. I can't
The
fly near.
because
Uh,
it's because there's a app that because there's a device mechanism where it blocks it, right? So my point
I've
is,
tried. I've tried to like ram through it at
yeah, but
full
that's
speed,
my
which is
point.
like 75 on my drone, and then it's like, and it comes to a complete stop right before the border,
Yeah,
and then it just says restricted,
John.
restricted.
So you see my point.
So you're telling me, yeah, this is not civilian technology. This is not people fucking with people. Because listen, even when I first got my drone, God, did I love messing with people. I'd fly that thing all over the
Dude,
place.
he tries to. You try to mess with me all the time.
I'd zip it down the road, like following cars and stuff, allegedly, and things like that. These are all the hypotheticals, of course. But you know what's crazy is I have a buddy that lives out in an area that these drones have been plaguing, and he is a drone cinematographer, and he has drones that cost as much as cars do.
Mm.
And he does things for major motion pictures. He does things for major networks like the Discovery Channel, History Channel, Animal Planet. And he was expressing in the area the restrictions that he lives in. He lives in the Jersey area. The flight restrictions that are out there. He said no civilian. And he's like I even have a homemade drone, but it still has to have GPS in order to function. And those GPSs, like whenever I've violated those things because I have tags, internal tags that for those and transponders, it's like within moments of violating that, I get a notification, or I get an officer to my front door, or I get a fine in the mail from the FAA. He said it doesn't happen. He also said the next time one of those drones comes out anywhere near him, he's kamikaze his drone into it for everything, and he's going to record the whole thing.
So how do you say it again?
It is not civilian
No,
technology.
no, no, no. Hold on. How do you say it again in the terms we talked about before? Oh, can you hear me? Nope.
Nope, I muted my mic, everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So hold on. So you know what I'm talking about?
Not civilian technology?
Nope. In a
Ballsack?
different language.
Oh, which language?
You know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Come on, say it, Creepy Lopez.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
It's from a different country.
But
No, jerk.
it's
Sorry.
not our it's not civilian technology, people. I
No.
don't think that we even need to be worried about it. I don't think that we need to also not be worried about it, because don't ever be stupid and just not pay attention to things going on, because that's how you end up
Well,
being desensitized.
it's just being aware. It's
I'm
like
driving around with AP and fucking level 4 and enough firepower to be labeled a domestic terrorist right now, just to in case something happens. It's
well,
all
I'll tell you.
legal. It's all legal stuff, but
I'll tell you this. This is the first time I've seen since 9/11 where different different sects of our government haven't really talked to each other, right? The DOD, the FBI, the CIA, right? But after 9/11, the whole point with Homeland Security is that everybody brings that information together. And this is the first time since that time, what, over 20 years, that this is not happening. So I would say there's an agenda behind it. And I agree with you, John. I don't think people should be afraid of what's going on with these drones, but I think they should be aware of that there's a potentially bigger agenda
Yeah,
of what's to come, and just be vigilant.
exactly.
And what that looks like, I have no idea. I
I
have no.
don't either. That's the thing is I just don't know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. All I know is just don't sit on your hands and be stupid. Don't freak out. Don't go dig a bunker. Don't go sell your or your spend your life savings on survival gear and things like that because
Oh
whatever's going
crap!
to
Are you
happen,
serious? Why didn't you
huh?
tell me that last night?
Oh no, you actually didn't spend that on survival gear. You sent it directly to my bank account. Thank you. That new
Son of a
Porsche is going to be
bitch!
nice. Yeah.
Son of
But
a.
I
I
am
just got.
saying
Yeah.
prepare.
Yeah.
Make sure you have certain comforts and food and storage and firepower and armor and heat and things like that because whatever is going to happen, if it's going to happen, it's going to be extreme. It's going to happen during this winter season because the best time to break people down is during the cold.
Yeah.
If they
You made
shut
that
off the
point.
if right now they shut off all of our power, there are going to be a lot of people who are going to perish from the cold alone because they don't know how to make a fire. They don't know how to create a warm space in their home.
Yeah.
And I encourage you people to just buy a book on home prep and survival on Amazon. There's tons of them. You can get them from
By the way, I did buy one last night.
yeah. You bought one without buying from my storefront?
I got desperate.
You son of a bitch.
You a son of a bitch. I eat. I'm
All right.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I see how it is. But anyways, just do
Hold
it,
on. Hold,
guys.
hold on.
If you want to know some things, maybe you don't like reading, maybe you just like people to hold your hand through it. Reach out to us. I got you covered.
Yeah.
Um,
So John.
Also, Christopher Lopez's house is always open. You can just go in there and raid it anytime you want. He's got tons of food. His chickens are delicious. I already ate a few of them. He hasn't noticed yet.
Son of a bitch. Now, before we end this podcast for last year, any final thoughts, Jonathan?
Fuck you guys. Stay away from my food. No,
Fair
I'm
enough.
kidding.
Fair.
um, this has been an awesome journey. I don't know how this year is going to end. Who knows? This might even be the last podcast that we ever do because we might not have power again. But if we ever do, and I find a way to load things up onto the interweb, we will be here. We might be in a bunker, but we'll be here. Um, People enjoy your lives, enjoy this holiday. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, Merry whatever the fuck you celebrate too. I don't want to say them all, but not trying to be insensitive to anybody, except for Nazis. Fuck you. Um, uh, Enjoy your families, enjoy your friends, enjoy your parties, enjoy this holiday season, and remember, people, we live in a world and a time where it's time to get away from the norm, the social norm,
Yeah.
the American dream, the 9 to 5. Um, Plant yourself a garden next year, buy yourself a piece of property, get yourself away from the 9 to 5, find yourself a way to make a home business, find
Great.
yourself a way to sustain yourself, spend more time with your children, go see your mother more, tell your dad you love him. And remember, people, this is the only life that you have to live. This is it. This is it. This is all you fucking get. And live it to the fullest, carefully, happily, and be fulfilled. At the end of the day, make sure that you've told everybody that you love them, even if it's just a group text or a message, because
Yeah.
I promise you, you don't have tomorrow promised. So just make sure, guys, that you are remembering that this world is going to beat you. It is going to break you. It is going to hurt you. It is going to bend you. You are going to fucking hate living your life for the longest periods of time, but you don't have to. You don't have to let it win. You
Yeah.
just have to keep moving on. And I love you guys all for listening. I love you, Lopez. I love the mouse that's in my garage because I just saw it ran across the floor. I'm gonna shoot it because it's eating my crap in my garage. Um, and remember, people, the truth is out there. We are bound to it. And go fuck yourselves.
You know what? I was gonna follow up with something, but I'm not going to because I think
You
that's
can't be. Go fuck yourself.
no. I gotta say this. I agree with everything you're saying, and John, I love you, buddy,
Love you too, man.
and everybody. We want you to have a great New Year. We want you to have a great time with your family. At the end of the day, no matter what's going on around the world, we want you to be informed, but most importantly, is that we want when we inform you is to also address how important it is to have relationships with your family and your friends. You know, because it's easy to lose sight of that.
If you are
It's
closing out this year with some relative that you hate for some reason, unless it's like a really good, legitimate reason, there's a lot that I could list, but you know what those are. Just make up for it, man. Like,
yeah,
it's not worth it. Shit ain't
it's
worth it.
exactly. You know, like I said, the stuff that John and I talk about, it's about sharing the truth, but it's not about just sharing the truth. It's more of how to share the truth, but to also share what's important in our lives and to have that realization when it comes to our reality in the world. And it's about family, it's about friends, it's about loved ones. And you know what, John? It's even about enemies
Oh, yeah. Love
because
thy
we got to be
enemy.
better. Yeah, you know. And John has many enemies.
I
He's
do.
like
I do. I have so many. They're
he's
in the
like the villain.
trees.
He
They're coming
me
out of the oceans.
yeah he makes Cobra from GI Joe look like nothing.
I'm not the
But
hero you guys need, and I'm not the hero
the
you guys want, but I'm the
but
villain that you're gonna get.
hold on. You're not the hero you need. They need. It's what they deserve, or they don't deserve, but it's the hero they need.
You nearly adopted the dog. I was born in it.
Molded by it. I was
Christopher Lopez,
blinded by the dark.
your fucking forehead is the only thing I can see right now.
Oh crapola. Okay. Anyways, guys, so I'm not gonna repeat how to reach us. You can hear it in the beginning of the podcast. Um,
Pornhub.
but we're excited for the next year in 2025, as long as the world doesn't end. Um,
YouTube.
but I want to say this before we end it,
X.
Jonathan. I love you, man. You're my
I
brother.
love you too, buddy.
You're my brother, and you make it fun. You make it awesome. And everybody out there, we love you too. And we want you to reach out to us. We want you to share your stories. We want you to have the platform. And
Except
I
for that
guess
one guy that keeps talking shit on Facebook. You and me, you come see me down at the dock anytime, buddy.
you mean Bald Jesus?
Yeah. Come
Yeah,
see me anytime, buddy. Day or
fuck
night.
that guy. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
I
Wait,
will
wait.
show you my butthole.
Oh, I do you will. But anyways, we want everybody to to enjoy the new year and just be with their family and friends. This is what's important, and just be blessed. You know, be blessed. My God, be blessed. So any other things, John? That's about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I could wrap it up any better than that.
Thanks, Post Malone. But anyways,
Po-
oh,
Oh,
Pre
and
Malone,
everybody,
Pre Malone,
also, I'm
Pre
pre
Malone.
Malone. Guys, just for, and I'm not saying anything out there. I don't even know if I can say this, but guys, if you've never tried Jack Daniel's Down Home Punch, I just found it today. Let's blow this shit up and make this the most popular drink ever because I don't ever want it to go
That
away.
sounds
This
like
shit is so good.
a sex code. But
It
anyways.
is. All right, guys.
All
We
right.
love you.
Anyways, yeah. Hey, we love you guys. And by the way, have a great new year and see you on the other side. Good night.